You just give us a 1, 2, 3 there, Caelan.
Sorry,
1, 2, 3.
saying how super efficient you are there, Ryan. And can we hear you there, Caelan?
1, 2, 3.
Good man. Right, probably out of a job. I wanted to at some point to go back in. Corky, can we kick us off?
I will, yeah, I will. Thanks, David, and thanks, Caelan. It's good to see you.
You too.
Caelan, can I ask you what lessons you've taken from November as a collective group? I've been together for a period of time, and what you're going to try and improve on over the course of the Six Nations Championship?
Yeah, the understanding of the game plan was huge for us. I think that was probably where we evolved most from Six Nations last year to November. The sort of connections out the back of shapes and understanding when we might be playing out the back of a shape and being ready and prepared for that. I think we'd come on a fair bit in that, and it's sort of still an evolving process and still need to get better at reading each other's cues and being ready to play front door and back door. And then in terms of how we're going to continue to grow, probably our defense was inconsistent. It was good at times, definitely. We talk about being brave, and even when the picture is imperfect and we might be numbers down, still wanting to show good pictures in terms of our line speed and getting off the line. So there's lots of sort of micro details around both attack and D, where we'll be looking to keep evolving.
You must be looking forward to playing in front of a full house at the Aviva Stadium for the Six Nations Championship. I mean, it's been a bit surreal for the last while playing in front of mini crowds and micro crowds, and now all of a sudden it's a full house this weekend.
Big time. That was another massive benefit to November, having full crowds back. Particularly looking back, the New Zealand game comes to mind. The atmosphere there was incredible. So 3 home games, and hopefully they'll all be full crowds as well. So massively looking forward to that and the lift that they gave us as well.
Cheers, man. Have a good week.
Thank you.
Hi, Kieran. Paul from First Media. How are you getting on?
Good, thanks.
Kieran, do you think Ireland are favourites this weekend?
Well, we're confident, but we're not going to be complacent. We're happy with how November went, obviously, 3 wins, and we're happy with how we're evolving. The focus so far this week has been very much so on ourselves, on getting our own stuff in order. Obviously, having been back with our clubs for the last couple of months, all being on the same page over the last few days has been important. We're confident. We've trained well over the last few days, but of course we can't let any complacency slip in, and we know that Wales are obviously a very good team, and they had a pretty successful November as well, and have been dangerous over the last few years. So we're looking forward to it.
Thank you. Best of luck.
Cheers.
Hi, Caelan. Ashling here from Off the Ball. How are you?
Good, thanks.
Good. Just to speak about the Autumn Nation series, you got the player of the series, and also you were man of the match then against the All Blacks. You'll be obviously hoping to continue that form now going into this next game.
Definitely, I'm loving playing at the minute, both at Leinster and in here. 2 top class environments, great coaches and players, and it's really enjoyable at the minute. So from having missing the Six Nations last year, I'm pretty excited to be hopefully a part of it this year and get stuck in this weekend.
And just to ask you a question, if you don't mind, you spoke before about going for cognitive testing, just around the symptoms you were having with your memory. How is all of that now?
Yeah, I'm in a way better place than this time last year. Much more comfortable with it all. Have had a pretty clean season so far this year, and hopefully it'll continue. Touch wood.
And is it ever a worry at all?
Having those testing definitely helps with that. Gives me peace of mind. It's still sometimes there, but no, it's much less than it was last year.
Brilliant, Keane. Best of luck.
Thank you.
How are you doing, Caelan?
How are you?
Not too bad. Given the results from November, a lot of England, Ireland, Scotland, Wales, France all had some pretty good results throughout November. Just how fine are the margins between probably 5 of the 6 countries this season?
Yeah, it's an incredibly competitive. Six Nations always is, but yeah, you could say arguably this year even more so. As you mentioned there, some great results from the Northern Hemisphere teams over November, and I'm sure a lot of teams will be fancying themselves and backing how they're playing. So yeah, it's exciting for us. We're definitely confident in the players and management we have here and how we want to play and the understanding that's coming with that. So yeah, we're looking forward to it all.
And considering how tightly those teams are all bunched together in terms of like chances of winning the tournament, how important then is it like getting off to a good start against Wales? Because we would have seen last year, for example, with Wales, like just how much early momentum can do for a campaign.
Definitely, yeah. Momentum in the Six Nations is huge. Yeah, it's obviously a tough start for us, but as you said, with all 5 or all 6 teams being very competitive, each game is going to be tough. So yeah, getting the momentum going early is definitely going to be important.
Cheers, Caelan. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Hi, Caelan. How's it going?
How are you?
You played a bit at number 8 for Ireland, but you've been kind of playing more at 6 recently. It looks like the numbers on your back maybe don't matter or define your kind of role as much in the current system as they maybe would have previously. But what are you asked to do playing at 6? That's different to playing at 8 now, and how different do the two positions actually look like on the pitch?
Yeah, probably merging more over the last year or so than in the past. We're sharing some of the workload around the line out and being a strike runner out in the backs off line out. So yeah, through November and back with Leinster as well, Jack and myself have been sharing that role a little bit more. He's been doing it around scrum time and restarts and things like that. But yeah, I'm enjoying having the mix of it, and I think he is too. So yeah, we're working well together.
And then obviously it was a really strong November in terms of results, but also the actual performances. What is the message from the coach being this time around? Is it just kind of building on what worked well in November, or are there more layers that you're kind of trying to add in over the next couple of weeks?
Yeah, more so kind of building. We know that there's still a lot more in us. Looking back at some of the games, yeah, we played well, but there's so many opportunities to get better, so many areas for growth. So yeah, continuing to develop and evolve and not let any complacency set in is important.
How much more potential, I guess, do you see in this system of the team?
Yeah, well, it's hard to. We always talk about the perfect game, and it's hard to even imagine what that looks like. But there was some of the tries we scored throughout November were pretty good ones, and yeah, we think we can up it another gear and bring more of that.
Great, thanks, Ben.
Cheers.
Okay, guys, anything finally there for Caelan?
Yeah, sorry, Caelan, can I just ask one there? There's always competition for places in any squad. The back rows no different. It's always been for a long time anyway. It's been voted as one of Ireland's real strength areas in terms of depth. You know, you've been a starter now for arguably over a year. What's the dynamic like within that group of guys that aren't starting as many games as you, but in terms of working with them in training every day, how does that play out?
Yeah, it's very good. There's a great relationship amongst the 6 or 7 of us here. We all sort of help each other out with covering different roles and tips and tricks here and there. Even just today, we had a bit of a restart competition between 3 or 4 of the back rows. So yeah, it's healthy competition amongst us, and we all get on well.
Okay. I think we're good. Thanks, Caelan.
Thank you. Cheers, Shuckers.
I just have a quick okay, can we go just a quick little chair.
By this point about the back row, what does Nick Timoney bring in a world of kind of 6'4", 6'5" guys being in the back row these days? What does he bring that's a little bit different?
He's incredibly powerful. I actually played with him back in when I was in 4th year in school. He was in 6th year in Blackrock. I was 6 and he was 8. He was our captain. He's always been incredibly powerful, class athlete, super strong and fast, and very good ball skills as well. I think what he's grown over the last year or two is playing more of that 7 role, better over the ball, better poacher, breakdown decision making has come on, and some of his defence and chop tackling has improved as well. So yeah, he's more rounded even now than back then. But yeah, top class athlete.
Cheers, Caelan. Thanks,
Thank you.
Okay, you're definitely done now, Caelan.
Cheers.